Welcome to Math with Mr. Dobrescu to the rescue. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the word problem today. And we are going to solve this word problem by creating a system of linear equations and solving it by, this time, the elimination method. Let's take a look at the problem. It says here that a candle shop sells scented candles for $16 each. So we have scented candles, $16 each. And unscented candles for $10 each. And the shop sells 28 candles today. It makes $400. And the question is, how many of each did the shop sell today? So let's set up a system of linear equations. But before that, let's call the scented candles X, because we do not know how many they are. We know the total, but we do not know how many scented candles are there, and we need to find it, but let's call it X. So let's call the scented candles let's call it X. And then if we call the scented candles X, let's call the unscented candle Y. So let's call the unscented candles Y. So unscented candles, let's call it Y. And we know that the scented and the unscented together, we have 28 candles. They have 28 totals. So the first equation would be X plus Y equals 28. X plus Y equals 28. Because it talks about the candles, right? Candles. X plus Y equals 28. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can create the second equation. So for the second equation, we are talking about money. Money, right? So he said the scented candles, which is X, they are sold for $16 each. So we have to multiply 16 times X. So let's create the second equation. So we have 16 times X. So 16X, because we do not know how many are there, right? We call that X. Plus, now let's take a look at the unscented candles, right? So unscented candles are sold for $10 each. So plus 10 times Y, 10 times Y equals, and let's look at the money. So it makes $400. You see the money. So we have $16, $10, and then $400. So the total would be 400. And this is our second equation. And now we have a system of linear equations. And now we are going to try to solve it by the elimination method and either cancel the X or the Y. And you have an option here. Do you want to cancel the X or do you want to cancel the Y? If you want to cancel the X, we will have to multiply the top equation by -16, and then we can cancel the X. On the other hand, if you want to cancel the Y, we would have to multiply the top equation by -10, and then we will be able to cancel the Y. You have a choice, either X or Y. I'm going to choose the Y. So let's multiply -10, all the terms at the top equation. Remember, whatever you do to one term, we have to do to all the other terms on that equation. So -10 there, let's multiply here -10. And also let's multiply here by -10. And let's see what we get now. So actually, after I multiply, I'm going to put the new equation under this equation right there. So we have -10 times X becomes -10X. And then we have negative 10 times y become negative 10y. And finally, negative 10 times 28 becomes negative 280. And now we have a new system of linear equations. And if we add the top and the bottom, we see that we are able to cancel the y, because 10y plus negative 10y cancels out. And let's see what is left over. So we have 16x minus 10x becomes 6x. So we have 6x, y went away, it cancels out, equals. And if we subtract 400 minus 280, we get 120. And finally, we have to divide both sides by 6 in order for us to get x by itself. So let's divide by 6 on both sides. 6 divided by 6 becomes the 1x. So we get x equals 120 divided by 6 becomes 6 going to 12 2 times and then add a 0, so 20. So x equals 20. But what does that represent? X is the scented candles. So how many of each did the shop sell? So the shop sold 20 scented candles. 20 scented candles. And let's find out how many unscented candles did the shop sell today. And now we would have to substitute that 20 into one of the original equations. So let's substitute this 20, and we see that the top equation, the original equation, was a lot easier to solve. So let's plug that 20 into this x here at the top. And now let's solve for y. Let me do the work right there. I'm going to write smaller. Instead of x, we are going to put 20. So we have 20 plus y equals 28. And in this case, we have to subtract 20 on both sides. So let's subtract 20 on both sides. Minus 20 minus 20. 20 minus 20 cancels out. So we get y equals 28 minus 20 becomes 8. Y is 8, and 8 represents the unscented candles. So that's 8 unscented candles. And let's see if it makes sense, right? So we have 8 and 20. 8 plus 20 becomes 28 candles. So it checks out. Again, we were able to solve a word problem using creating a system of linear equations, and then we used the elimination method in order for us to cancel one of the variables. We cancel the y in order for us to solve for x, and once we solve for x, we are able to solve for y by substituting the x into one of the original equations, and we got the y. Thank you all so much for watching again. Appreciate all the likes and subscriptions. Please continue to pass these videos along to all your friends and family members. We want everyone to be able to have this information so everyone can get proficient in mathematics and ready for higher level of math. Thank you all so much again. All the best, and see you in the next video.